Greetings, people out there, people watching the Band in a Month challenge. This is episode 21. Since it was a milestone episode, we're entering now into almost the next 10th of the process. It's hard to believe that 1/10 of the time is just about left us. Right here on the wall, this is the original schedule I had come up with for the 215 hours, which equals 1 month's time in which I am trying to release this EP, create this band, and make $3,000 in profit doing it. And of course, we've budgeted 25 hours for our songwriting process. And this little chart up here shows us where we're at. Anything with an X in it or an X in a circle, those are takes or you know, I feel like I've written those parts. It may not be perfectly performed on the digital, but you know, they're close enough, and where there needs to be tweaking or a little more writing, I can just do that in the studio. So these circles are my open areas where I don't have anything. I didn't lay down bass tracks for 2 of the 5 tracks. No guitar on one of them. There's a couple of you know, string kind of keyboard parts to go in there. Although I could always save those for the recording process. And then they're easy to do at home. And then obviously you see the big row of goose eggs with the lyrics. It's not that we don't have any lyrics over here. We've got a bunch of lyrics, and actually last night I was just kind of listening to the music and was struck by a bolt of lyrical lightning as it usually happens. And did some lyrics, renamed a working title for a song, 7 Card Stud. So now up here we have the names of our songs all set. These are working titles though, but it makes it so much easier than being like, what is this, song 5, song 7, song 8? Every time I ever do a project, I'm like, I'm not going to start out by naming the song number 1, song number whatever, because it gets confusing. And every time I forget to do it. So this time, hey, at least I've got working titles now. And I got some notes here on the kind of things that need a little more songwriting attention. Now I've only got 4 hours left to write. That would be after this episode. This is technically, I've got 5 hours left right now. And that's a lot to do in 5 hours. Especially the lyrics, which are the kind of thing that just kind of happen with the bolt of lightning. And I spent about 20-25 minutes doing that, so I'll count 25 minutes off of this next episode, so we'll only be live streaming for 35 minutes. And what we're going to do basically is try and finish songwriting to the point where when our budgeted hours are up, we're going to have some decent demos of these songs that at least show us what it's going to kind of sound like in the studio, and then we can make even more decisions. You know, if I weren't giving myself these limitations, I would absolutely 100% spend a little more time polishing these songs. But at the same time, I really love the fire that this lights under you, forces you to be creative. You know, we spent this time, we wrote 3 songs that we didn't even use. Maybe we'll come back to them. I have this blank here on the bottom, which is kind of like, it'd be nice to have another song that we could use for promotional purposes, something like that. Nonetheless, we've got our 5 songs for the EP now locked down, which is good because we've only got these 5 hours left to finish these songs. So what am I going to do over this next few hours? Well, and we've also been talking about having to do the logo, registering all the websites. We're going to do that within the first 25 hours too. And if you're curious, I also budgeted myself, well, it looks like I gave myself a whopping 30 hours to record. So that's about, you know, an hour per song per instrument. It's a really tight recording schedule. Really tight recording schedule. So that's the balance here, is really getting these demos to the point where I can almost just reference the demo and be like, that's exactly what I'm playing. You know, practice to that. There's something to be said about, in lieu of being able to practice, record, and then you can at least listen to it and practice it in your head. And it's just a matter of, like, you know, it's like riding a bicycle. If you got a show or something, you can, you know, play every day and, you know, not fall off the bicycle. And then, you know, we've budgeted, I don't know, that looks like another 35 to mix, a good chunk to mix, oh, and master. See, that's the thing. I don't know if I'm going to be able to master this myself. Well, the whole schedule is there, and we'll get to it as we're going through. But I want to thank you for joining me once again. Band in a Month Challenge for Songhack.com. This is Zach Shaw.